On the morning of March 29, 2018, a car was found at the bottom of a cliff in Mendocino County, California. But what appeared to be just another horrific accident would reveal something far darker. A wrecked car, scattered bodies, and a mystery that would haunt the nation. A family, a picture-perfect life on social media, but behind closed doors, something sinister was brewing. What drove this family to the edge? What had been the warning signs, and why had no one noticed until it was too late? This is the story of Jen and Sarah Hart, a couple who portrayed an image of love and warmth while hiding a tragic truth that would shock the world. Jennifer Jean Hart, known to her friends as Jen, was born on June 4, 1979, in South Dakota. From a young age, Jen stood out, not only for her athleticism, but for defying expectations, choosing baseball over softball and learning the trumpet alongside her siblings. But beneath the surface, Jen's childhood was marked by early signs of turbulence. Her parents divorced when she was just 12 years old, and by the time she was 14, she made the difficult decision to live with her father. Her rebellious years were filled with struggles, leading to a brief legal trouble when she was caught shoplifting, admitting that she wasn't sure why she had done it. Eventually, she moved to Northern State University, where she met Sarah, the love of her life. Their relationship was something that Jen kept hidden from her father, though their bond would soon become public. In 2005, the couple made a life-changing decision. They became foster parents, eventually adopting 6 children, each with a past full of trauma, and Jen and Sarah promised to give them a better life. Outwardly, Jen and Sarah Hart appeared to be the perfect family. Their social media pages were filled with heartwarming posts, matching outfits, proud moments, and family achievements. Jen would post photos of the children playing musical instruments, learning new skills, and having fun, with captions like, "Love is always beautiful." But what was happening behind the scenes? The truth was darker than anyone could have imagined. Jen and Sarah may have been admired online for their apparent love and dedication to their children, but in their home, things were not so perfect. In 2008, a police report surfaced claiming that one of their daughters had been struck by Sarah, though the couple insisted it was a misunderstanding. In 2010, Abigail, then just 6 years old, confided in her teacher about the physical punishment she had endured, including being dunked in cold water for allegedly stealing. The abuse was confirmed, yet despite Sarah admitting to hitting Abigail, both women continued to raise the children as if nothing had happened. A plea deal saw Sarah avoid jail time, and they continued their journey, their family growing larger and their secrets deeper. Despite a series of disturbing incidents, claims of physical punishment, neglect, and even emotional abuse, the couple continued to foster their image as a loving family, but the cracks were starting to show. In 2013, one of their daughters, Hannah, was seen crawling out of a window in the middle of the night, begging for help. She confided in a neighbor that she was being mistreated by her mothers, but once again, no one intervened. This pattern of distress continued for years, calls to the police, allegations of neglect, and multiple failed escape attempts by the children. But no one ever seemed to take action. In 2017, the children were spotted in distress once again, showing signs of malnutrition and exhaustion. But the family kept moving, constantly on the run from the authorities and accusations. Jen and Sarah's decision to homeschool their children was shrouded in secrecy, and their own home was increasingly isolated from the world. Meanwhile, the children, especially Devontae, were subjected to a cruel, heartbreaking existence. Devontae was later pictured in a viral image. His tearful embrace of a police officer during the Ferguson protests became a symbol of hope, yet no one realized how broken this child truly was. Then, the worst happened. In March 2018, after years of warnings and missed opportunities, the Hart family left Oregon and set off on a road trip. What followed was a horrific tragedy that no one saw coming. On March 26, 2018, Jen Hart drove the family's SUV off a cliff in Mendocino County, California. The wreckage was discovered at the bottom of the cliff, and inside, Jen and Sarah's bodies were found, along with 3 of their children, Abigail, Marcus, and Jeremiah. The bodies of Sierra and Hannah were found later, their bodies washed up on nearby beaches. Devontae, the child who had been the face of their social media story, was never found. Authorities later concluded he had also died in the crash. What had driven Jen and Sarah to this point? Investigators uncovered chilling evidence that suggested Jen and Sarah had planned the deaths of their children. Internet searches on how to induce drowsiness, how to find a shelter for their dogs, and most disturbingly, how to kill themselves and their children. Toxicology reports showed Jen had been drinking heavily and may have been intoxicated when she made the fateful decision to drive off the cliff. The Hart family's tragic end has sparked public outrage and questions about the system that failed to protect these children. Despite numerous reports of abuse, neglect, and mistreatment, the system failed to intervene in time. Investigators have criticized how local authorities and child protection agencies repeatedly missed warning signs, with Jen and Sarah slipping through the cracks time and time again. In the end, the death of these 6 innocent children raised questions about foster care, the power of social media facades, and the responsibility of the system to intervene in situations of suspected abuse. For years, Jen and Sarah Hart had successfully hidden their dark secrets behind the image of a perfect family. The social media posts, the smiles, the love, they all masked the abuse that took place behind closed doors. It was a tragic lie, and when the truth finally came to light, it was too late. 6 lives were lost, and a nation was left questioning how such a thing could have happened. As we reflect on this tragic case, we must ask ourselves, how did the warning signs go unnoticed for so long? And how can we ensure that no other children fall victim to the same fate? The story of the Hart family is one of the most heartbreaking tragedies of our time. It serves as a stark reminder of the dangers of blind trust, the lies we tell ourselves, and the system that failed to protect innocent lives. Let this be a warning to all of us. Sometimes the family you see on the outside isn't the family you see behind closed doors. If you want to know more about the untold details and investigations surrounding the Hart family's tragic end, make sure to subscribe to our channel. We'll keep diving into the mysteries and the real stories that matter, giving you insights into true crime cases from around the world. What do you think about this case? How could the system have prevented such a tragedy? Share your thoughts in the comments, like and subscribe for more investigations into the darkest corners of true crime.